Savannah has antebellum mansions, live oaks, and historic streets. All of that gives off the energy of a really expensive coastal city.
It sure does, but the numbers don't always tell the story. So today we're talking to locals about what it's really like to live in Savannah.
Let's go. There are so many different reasons that people relocate to the Savannah area, and we want you to have the perspective of all of those different people. So that is why I am here with my friend, Abby Jones. Abby, tell us a little bit about who you are and how long you've lived here and why you moved here.
My name is Abby Jones, and my family and I moved to the Savannah area 4 years ago. We are a military family, and so that is what brought us here.
You didn't even have a choice.
No, I did not.
But do you like it?
We absolutely love it.
My name is Susan, and what brought us to Savannah is, I want to say, my husband, because my heart was stuck on the Carolinas.
Oh, okay. Where are the Carolinas?
We like Bluffton.
Okay.
We visited the Charlotte area. We visited Charleston, and then when we got to the Savannah Pooler area, the words that came out of my mouth were, "Oh my gosh, this feels like home." And I'm like, "Oh, I actually said that." So that's what started it. And then we looked at homes, and we had a house built in the Pooler, Savannah area.
All right, my name is Kelly Lane, and I moved from Annapolis, Maryland. And I knew 10 years ago that when I retired, I wanted to either move to Charleston or Savannah, because those cities were the most like my home, Annapolis. And I found the area of Richmond, and this community was actually the very last one that I got to see. And I hadn't even barely walked through the door when I said, this is it, this is home. And it's continued to stay that way.
I'm Whitney Jordan.
And I'm Kyle Jordan. We moved here from Charleston, South Carolina, just over 5 years ago.
And what brought you guys to Savannah?
His job.
Yeah, I was relocating here to continue my career after working in Charleston for 8 years, where we met and got married and had our son. We decided to pick up and move everything, and it was actually a good location because it was a little bit closer to my family, who was in South Georgia.
And now where is your family?
They have relocated here as well. I think they wanted to be closer to grandkids, so they made the choice to come here.
Okay, so most people move for one of three reasons. They move for a lifestyle change, they move for work, or they move to be closer to family. So tell us who you are and what brought you to the Savannah area.
I am Ann Dixon, and this is my husband, Tan. And I would say that we probably moved for all three of those reasons. We both grew up around this area, and we lived here for about 11 years after we got married. And Tan's work took us to some other places in Georgia, but we always wanted to get back closer to family and closer to the coast. And so that finally happened last summer.
So we wanted the sense of safety for our children. Huntington Beach, it's great. It's vacation paradise, but living there, it's a little different. We have a lot of crime, a lot of homelessness, which, it's just things that made just everyday living tough, having little kids that you're raising. So we just wanted a safer environment and just the beauty of Georgia.
My husband's in the Air Force, so he was stationed here, and it happens to be closer to my family, so it was wonderful.
Where are they at?
They're right outside of Atlanta.
Okay. What have you found that you love about living here?
The biggest thing I love is community. Right when we moved in, we were just welcomed with open arms from everyone in our neighborhood. And yeah, my daughter found friends like immediately, and I found a group of women. And so it's been really nice.
Fun fact, we were neighbors.
Yeah, for a short time.
We sold her a house in our neighborhood, in my neighborhood.
Yes.
So we were neighbors for a little bit.
Well, we like being by the ocean. And we enjoy island hopping. We went downtown Savannah, love downtown. It's very eclectic, very artsy. Broughton Street is a street you want to visit with all the shops. There's some great restaurants.
We know people with boats.
That's the best ones.
Yeah, so.
No responsibility.
Yeah, exactly. But honestly, just waking up to just moss-covered trees, marsh views, just the most beautiful sunsets and sunrises. You can't, it's on a postcard. You can't pay money for the views that you get out here. And you're so close to
beach access, which having kids, that is like a giant life-size sensory sandbox. Like they just absolutely love it.
You sound like a therapist.
I think based on why we moved, it's probably going to be the schools. We really wanted better opportunities for our children. And I think, again, it is the nostalgia factor that we've satisfied because we wanted to get back to the coast and wanted to get back closer to our family because my family is in Savannah, hers is on St. Simon. So we have a great opportunity to visit quite a bit more frequently than we used to.
I would have to say that I love the community the most.
What did it take for you to establish that community?
I feel like moving into Waterways made it effortless because there are so many things that they have going on all the time within the community, which gives you an opportunity to get to know other people.
Waterways is really a special place. If you've been on our channel for very long, you know how much we love Waterways. In fact, we just released a video about it recently, and you should check that video out now. But Abby, I want to know what it's like establishing community outside of the neighborhood.
We got connected through our church and then also through our kids' sports.
Having kids makes it a lot easier.
Yes,
because kids make friends so easily.
Yes,
it's like,
they
you're
do.
Abby, I'm Erin, we're friends. And it's not like that when you're a grown up.
That's exactly right. Thank God for kids.
Totally. Well, and having those connection points like church and school sports or even hobbies, like there's a really fabulous garden club in Savannah. And so getting connected in places like that helps it feel like home.
Yes.
Because when you move somewhere new, it doesn't automatically feel that way.
Yeah.
We had neighbors at our door with like the casseroles and the cookies.
Those Southern people.
Oh my goodness. And so we actually have more friends here than I would say back home. I mean, back home we have a lot of friends too, but out here we just know everyone and the kids, they're in baseball together and the parents, everybody is very involved.
So I lost my partner unexpectedly, and this neighborhood held me up. Like, I cannot even begin to tell you. I had people come and they knew that company was coming into town and say they can spend the night at my house. And these are people that I knew very little, but just knowing the needs. We had a celebration of life and probably 50 people from the community came to that. We had an RV, but a husband emptied my Blackwater. Like, can we just say? Doesn't get any more personal than that. So that's the kind of thing that people just jump in and they see a need and they don't ask questions, they just do. But since he's passed, they're making sure I'm involved. Like every day we're doing pickleball, we're doing water aerobics, we're doing bonko and bingo, and they're making sure, even though they're a married couple, because I said to them, don't think I don't want to be included because I don't have a partner. I absolutely do. I'm not going to feel funny about it. And they've been wonderful.
So talk to me about what's hard about living here.
So the one thing that's super tough about living out here is just the heat and humidity. Like that was one thing coming from Southern California, like, whoa, we just walked into a sauna, but that was just almost the first year. After that, we kind of just got used to it and you kind of just prepare and know what to do. Like if you go to a baseball game, you bring a mister, you bring a fan, you adapt to it. But I would say just that. And then where we're at right now, we're much further from the closest Target and a grocery store, but we have gators in our backyard and bald eagles and deer that come through. So it's almost like, there's days I'm like, oh, I wish that was right down the road, but I don't think we would have this much beauty and wildlife.
You talked about the gators.
Yes.
And people get nervous about wildlife that they're not familiar with. And you actually spotted one before we started filming. You sound like you like them.
They honestly, they are more scared of you than we. They really just mind their own business. It has never been an issue. Even when my son is fishing on the dock, they just kind of watch him and they're waiting for that bass to be released, and sometimes they go after it.
Right.
Dinner time. So it's very, it hasn't been an issue. I mean, there are some big ones on the lake out here, but you just kind of stay away and they don't seem to mind.
So traffic is a pain sometimes, especially because we're lucky in the fact that we live close to 95, and that's a great corridor. We're unlucky in the fact that you have to use 95 so much to get to Savannah. And I think like growth is great, but trying to catch up with the growth that has already happened in this area has been one of the biggest challenges. I mean, I saw it constantly driving to work on 95 and then 16 and then coming back and seeing the interchange and seeing the widening and all of that was being done. That was being done when we got here 5 years ago. There's still work that's going on. And like I said, you're trying to catch up with what's already happened here. here, we'll see where we are in 15 years,
Sure.
you know, and
Sure.
if that's made a difference or if we're way behind still.
When you guys were doing your Googling, when you were coming here, what did those searches look like? What were you researching specifically?
You guys. I watched several of your YouTubes.
That was not planned.
No. I watched several of your YouTubes. I'm following you. So, you made it easier.
Oh,
yeah.
I appreciate that. Well, thank you. I appreciate you taking the time. You guys are a joy, some of our favorite clients we've ever worked with. So we appreciate you and thank you for your perspective.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for asking me. It was wonderful.
When you talk about downtown, that is one of the biggest draws that most people relocating to Savannah feel. Our downtown actually has one of the largest historic districts in the entire country, and its walkability, its ambiance, those beautiful Spanish oaks, and all that shopping that you talked about are a big draw for people when they're coming to Savannah. Before we keep going, if relocating to Savannah is on your radar or something that you're even considering, reach out to us today. Our contact information is below. Our team would love to talk and help you with that decision.
Shannon, I'm really curious if there's anything that surprised you about living here.
Okay, well, there were so many things that surprised me living here. Number one, the school bus picks up our kids right at our house.
Oh.
And yeah, I was like, this should be the selling point of moving here, because in California, no kids ride the bus. Like it's doesn't happen.
Very
and so
interesting.
It's constantly drop-offs and pickups, and pickups isn't the same time. Like the kids are all divided up in different pickup times, and here everybody gets picked up at the same time, dropped off. I mean, granted, high school and middle school is different, but it's right outside of our front door, which that I'm like, this is just amazing.
The community part was big because when we moved to Annapolis, we didn't have a community at all the whole time we lived there. So that was surprising to immediately find people. And then also the sand gnats were surprising. Coming down and getting bites everywhere was shocking.
How do you combat the sand gnats?
We use a lot of bug spray.
What kind?
Burley elephant and the olive oil hair spray.
That's our trick. That's our trick. We've talked about that on a couple of different videos before.
Jokingly, I think I forgot about how bad sand gnats are. I mean, I grew up with them, but when we lived in Atlanta and in Middle Georgia, we didn't have the biting kind. So I've been quickly reintroduced to those friends. I would say surprising to me has been, I think it's a somewhat fractured real estate market. And I know Suzanne and I have talked about this. You know, there are so many opportunities if you are looking for a smaller house, I believe, and maybe on the lower price point, but there's a strange middle that doesn't have, or at least I didn't think there was a ton of inventory, and it tends to move very quickly. So that's what we found to be, I think, a surprise moving here with a fairly reasonable budget in our mind.
Two things, actually. Y'all had snow 2 years ago. And
It's a shock.
It was. Nobody does the roads. And I thought, here I am from Ohio, let me at it. I'm going to get my car, I'm going to go get groceries. One, grocery stores were closed.
Yeah.
Two, the roads were impassable. I had to turn around and go home. Thank God I had some groceries at the house. The second thing that surprised me was every spring, everything turns green or like yellow green, and there's pollen everywhere.
You said something that I want to backtrack on because it is very common that we have people that we get to connect with that are considering Charleston and Savannah, just like you did when you moved here. So what was the decision maker for the Savannah area over the Charleston area?
Probably two things. One, given tax implications, whether or not you have a pension versus a 401k, how the government looks at that. And South Carolina was not as advantageous as Georgia was for us. And the other part for me was the property tax was significantly less.
Sure, and especially because you live in Bryan County, and it is the most affordable county in the Savannah area, right? It's more affordable than Chatham County. It's more affordable than Liberty County. So you definitely landed in the right spot for affordability from a property tax perspective.
My property taxes are half what they used to be.
Wow.
And my house is bigger. And the amenities are much nicer.
Annapolis is right outside of DC. city, so it's extremely expensive. So the value, especially in homes, is far more affordable here in Richmond Hill. So yeah, we love that part of living here.
That made it an easy transition.
It did.
You know, I don't know that I would say there are any regrets. I think there are certainly days, because of how I'm wired, I'll walk in and go, oh, I love the house. Then some days I'm like, the house needs this kind of work, or I feel like this project needs to be done. So, you know, I think we bought a great house and we had a great opportunity from a great realtor team, you know, and we're certainly happy. And bottom line, we are achieving the kind of lifestyle that we wanted for our kids and ourselves in this season.
No, we have no regrets. After living here for 4 years, we can truly say this was the best decision for our family.
There's not a single regret. My regret, I wish I would have done it earlier. How's that?
That's great.
Serious.
You said
nothing.
you thought about it for 10 years. That was your plan for 10 years.
Yeah. So this exceeds my expectations.
Not one thing.
Oh, wow.
No, honestly. I mean, I have my family here. We have family in California. Obviously, we do miss having them, you know, at our fingertips. But even living in California, my, aunt lived maybe 40 miles away, but it would take 2.5 to 3 hours to get there because of traffic.
I have one last question that I want to ask you, and this is specifically for the folks that are watching that are considering relocating here. What advice would you give them?
I would say the number one thing, don't go by off what the house looks like, go with what lifestyle you want. My husband and I, we wanted to be able to walk out on a dock in the morning and sit and have our coffee or have a cocktail, docktails we call it, and he can go fishing and just, we wanted that sense of community, the safety. So we found the area that we wanted, and then sure enough, we found our dream house in the area that we wanted. And so I would say look more for the lifestyle. If you want to be close to shopping, then you might not want this particular location, but we really wanted to be able to go on the boat, have the kids ride the bikes, go on trails, and just see the beauty of the sunsets on the ocean. And this really checks all the boxes.
Y'all, that is such good advice. We talk to our relocation buyers all the time about what kind of life they see themselves living here, because that lifestyle majorly determines where you want to go in the Savannah area, because you're going to get a different lifestyle depending on your location.
Exactly.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
This has been so
amazing.
great.
I hope everybody can find their dream home.
Me too.
First and foremost, I would just consider what lifestyle that you want to have for your family. And I feel like once you make that choice, everything else will fall into place.
That's such a great answer. Is there any specific advice related to house hunting?
When it comes to house hunting, I would say sticking within your budget is most important. But if you can find a community that you really love and a home inside there that's within your budget needs, then that would be my advice.
Nobody wants to be house poor.
Yes.
And we don't want you to be house poor either. Thank you so much.
Do it. I mean, I think it's a great place to be. I'm a history person, so there's tons of history. Like we mentioned, there's the coast. The food is great, which we didn't even talk about. Find different places that you can get the best staples and the best fare. And I think it's a great place to be.
I would say if you're wanting to start a family, if you're wanting great schools, if you're wanting a community of people with a small town feel, like Kyle said, I think this fits the bill. This definitely provides all of those aspects and support for those young families that are starting off and they want great schools, they want a community setting and want to be close to everything nearby that's essential, but want to be able to escape to the coast or to waterways. That's always available as well.
Thank you guys. Your perspective is so valuable. Someone watched this video today and what you had to say really helped them. Maybe they decided not to move here, but it helped them make that decision. And what we want is for them to make the best decision, whether it's to land in Savannah or not. But I do agree. They should do it.
Yeah, they should do it and also bring their grandparents.
Yes, they should.
You know, I would say, especially as someone who grew up in this area, you know, even though I know a lot about it, I think picking the right realtor partner is important because this market was, again, a surprise to me. I talked about fractured market at the beginning. And so even though we've lived in multiple places and understand different markets around the state, having a great partner saved us a lot of worry and a lot of concern beyond what I probably expected.
Well, thank you for that unsolicited plug. I'm going to ask you though, how did you make that decision? How did you find us? Because I actually don't know this one.
So actually, it's a bit of a funny story. We had been looking at YouTube videos about Richmond Hill, and so the Wellspring Group videos popped up. And as we were watching a Wellspring Group video, my son, my youngest, walked in and he looked at the video and said, I think we should use them. I like her pants. And Niki had on a pair of green pants. And so we have joked as a family about those pants since the very beginning.
They paid off.
We just thought y'all looked really fun.
Yeah.
Every person that you heard from today came to Savannah for a different reason. And typically the people that settle in the best did the research on the front end so that they could make sure they were making the right decision about moving here at all.
If moving to Savannah is on your radar, reach out to us at meettwg@gmail.com and our team will put together a personalized plan to get you here.
If you've already decided that Savannah is the location for you, but you're not sure which part of Savannah you want to live in, you should check out the video here on screen. We talk about 8 different locations, the things that are not so great, the things that are definitely great, and it will be super helpful for you in deciding where you want to land.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you in Savannah.